welcome back to my kitchen. Yeah, I'm going to be doing another cooking slash baking video today, and I'm very excited because I'm going to be attempting to make cinnamon rolls for the first time. Now, my boyfriend and I, we get cinnamon rolls pretty often. They come in a pack on Pizza Hut, and it's like the dessert option or whatever. So we get them quite often, so we eat them more often than I'd like to admit. But yeah, so today I figured I would try and make my own just because it's fun. We're in quarantine still, so it gives me something to do. I know a lot of people have issues making cinnamon rolls, and I don't consider myself to be an expert baker, so I'm interested to see how this will turn out and if it'll turn out at all. But yeah, let's get started. So I found a recipe on Pinterest, and that's what I'm going to be following today, and I will link it down in the description below, so then if you guys want to try this, whether it works for me or not, you can. So the first step is going to be warming up the milk in this pot so that we can mix it with the yeast. So we need 1 cup of milk. So we've got our measuring cup. I'll do it over top just in case, but I'm usually pretty accurate. Okay, and we'll just turn that on to let it start boiling. Put the milk back, clean as you go. And it says to heat it to between 104 and 140 Fahrenheit. I don't have an actual thermometer or anything, but I do have a crock pot that comes with a thermometer attached to it. So what we're going to do is we're going to be turning on the crock pot in order to use the thermostat to see what temperature the milk gets to make sure that it doesn't get too hot, because I heard that there can be problems when you get it too warm. So we're just going to wait for this to boil, and then, well, not boil, but warm up, and then we'll test it, and then we'll add the yeast and go from there. Okay guys, so if you look at the little thermostat on the crock pot, you will see that it says that we are at about 126 Fahrenheit. So it says to get it between 105 and 140. So I think that is perfect. That is good to go. So I already turned off the oven. Now we're just going to transfer this into a bowl so then we can mix it with the yeast. This little bowl here that I can put it into. I love these bowls. These are like the best mixing bowls ever. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the milk in the bowl. Whoops. And I spilled it. Hopefully. I'm going to take that off the hot burner because milk burns too easily. And then it says 2 packages. So 2 of these guys of traditional active dry yeast. Okay, so we're going to put these 2 packages of yeast in the bowl of milk. My mom always had yeast in the cupboard when we were younger, but I never really understood what it was for. I never understood that it was for and my mom used to, well, she still does. She still has a bread maker, and she used to make our own bread all the time. It was really good. Okay, let's see. Do we stir it? Okay. Sprinkled over the yeast, so okay. And stir to moisten. Okay, so I think that'll be stirred enough. Bit to get it all ready to activate. Oops. Back up. And then it says allow to stand until foamy, about 5 to 7 minutes. So we're going to leave this here for about 5 minutes, and then it should get foamy, and hopefully that'll be the beginning base of our cinnamon buns. I'm so excited to see if this works. Hopefully it turns out, but I'll be back in a minute. So we seem to have lost like 5 of our measuring cups. I have no idea where they are. It's so bizarre. We have no idea where they could have gone to. We literally looked through everything. I swear as soon as this video is done, we're going to find them. But we're just going to have to make do with what we have. So my measuring cup, the cup-sized one, luckily has a handy little marking that says 1/2, which is the half cup that we need. So we are going to do half a cup of granulated sugar. And hopefully not totally mess this up. Oh god, I'm scared. Okay. So even that out. Yeah, that's about half a cup. So we're just gonna plop that in there. And then next we need 4.5 cups of flour. Type off that flour. Next, we add in the eggs. So we need, for this part, 3 eggs. Okay. And they say they're supposed to be at room temperature, so I did take them out a bit earlier. They're not totally cooled, or like, I guess warmed up yet, but they are warmer than what they were in the fridge, so we're just gonna go with it and crack our 3 eggs. Okay. Throw those guys in the compost. And then next, after the eggs, we are doing some butter, and we need half a cup of unsalted room temperature butter. Now I didn't bring it out, so it's not room temperature, whoops. But like I said earlier, we're just gonna make do with what we have. Perfect, so there is our half cup of butter. Okay, and then lastly, we are just going to add in 2 teaspoons of salt. Now they say to use sea salt. I do not have sea salt, so we are using table salt. Okay, so we got 1 and 2. Perfect. And next, okay. So next we have to mix it all together. Now the only thing is they recommend doing like those magical KitchenAid mixers that I really want, but I don't have one of those. So we're just gonna go with the good old hand mixer, i.e. myself, and hope that it all combines together the way that it's supposed to. And yeah, so let's just... Okay, so we just mixed it all together. Now we have to knead the dough. So it's saying to keep doing this and adding a little bit of flour as you go, just to help it not stick to the sides and whatnot. So that's what I'm gonna do now, is I'm gonna start kneading this all together to try and make it nice and smooth so that we can do the first rise. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do now. Okay, so now that we have kneaded this dough, we are going to put it in this bowl so that it can start rising. And we're going to cover it with a just a regular kitchen towel. And then it has to sit here for about 1.5 to 2 hours, just so it can start the rising process. So grab a kitchen towel. Plop it down so it can start rising. So you see now the time is about 7 o'clock. Once it gets to be about 8:39, we will be back to see how this has risen and to start the next step of the process of making cinnamon buns. It seems like it's going well so far, so let's hope that everything is adding up to be correct. I'll see you in a minute, guys. Okay, so it has been about an hour and a half or so, or however long, and look at this. It has risen so much. This is crazy. I've never made like bread or anything before, so this is really cool. So basically we just need to kind of like poke it to make sure. Yeah, okay, it's good. So it stayed down, which means it's ready. It's good. So we need to now get a 9x13 baking dish and prepare an egg wash by beating together egg with 1 tablespoon of water. So I'm just gonna grab a little container. Crack my egg. Okay, so it says to mix the egg, beat it together with 1 tablespoon of water. Okay. And I've never made an egg wash before either, so this is like all new territory for me today. This is fun. So we just gotta beat it all together so that it gets combined. Okay. And then we have to set it aside until we're ready to use. So next we are going to be making the filling, so the cinnamon tasting filling. So we have to combine brown sugar, cinnamon, and salt. We need 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar. So once again, we're just gonna have to kind of guess it out with this measuring cup. Okay, so that's about 3/4. So we'll just put that in the bowl. And then next we do 1 tablespoon of cinnamon. Okay. And then we are going to use 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Okay, that was a bit more, but that's okay. Okay, and now we are just going to combine them together with a fork just to make sure that they're all mixed up and nice and ready to go. Now, my brown sugar is a bit clumpy, so that might cause a bit of a problem, but you know, it's all good. We'll figure it out. Okay, so next it says to punch down the dough and turn it onto a lightly floured work surface. So this is what we've got. So we're just gonna, I guess, punch it down. Oh, that was kind of satisfying. And now we're just gonna move it onto our surface. And then we are going to cut it in half with a knife. Okay. Okay, and then we're gonna set this half aside. And then we're starting to work with this side. So what we're going to do is lightly dust it with flour. And pat the dough into the shape of a rectangle. Now, it says to use a rolling pin to roll it out, but I don't have a rolling pin, but I do have a bottle of wine, and that's close enough. So we have to spread some of the butter over top of the dough, and then we sprinkle the cinnamon sugar mixture over top of that, and we're supposed to leave the sides clear from the butter and the cinnamon sugar, so then when we roll it, it goes all nicely, and that's also where the egg wash goes. So that's just what I'm doing now, is just spreading some of the butter, and then we're gonna take about half of this mixture, because remember, we still have that whole other piece of dough that we got to work with, which I believe is just going to be doing the same thing over again and making it into another, well, doing exactly what we're doing now, making our first roll of cinnamon buns. Maybe this side looks okay.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It's about half the mixture. It's so gross. Now, if I was good at baking, I would have a actual, like, one of those pastry brushes, and then I would properly brush the butter and the egg across the pastry, but I am not good at baking, so this is what we're gonna do. Just gonna roll her up. Okay. Make those seams a bit nicer. Okay. I'm gonna sprinkle a bit more flour. And put this down. And now we're going to cut our cinnamon buns. Okay, how big do I need to cut them? Cut it into 6 equal parts. So we're gonna cut it in half roast, because I think that's the easiest. Oh geez, I don't. Okay. Ah! I'm so excited. Do like that. Okay, so there is our first 6 cinnamon buns. Not ready, obviously. Okay, so the next step is going to be doing a second rise of the cinnamon buns. So we're gonna have to place them in the pan and then let them rise the way we did the first time, where we put a kitchen towel over top of the dough until it rises. So I'm gonna go ahead, make my other roll of cinnamon rolls, and then I will be putting them in the pan. I'll show you in the pan and then covering them up. So I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so we have rolled all our rolls and cut them up, and they are sitting in our pan, ready to go. They look gorgeous, minus a few. But this is so exciting. I didn't think they would turn out this well this far. But basically what we have to do is we have to let them do a second rise and let them grow in size for about 40 to 60 minutes. So the time is currently 9:30, so I will check in at about 10:15ish, and we will see how these guys have turned out. We will bake them, and then we will make our glaze for them. I'm very excited. The end is near. Yeah, so I'll see you soon. Okay guys, so we are back and we are ready to put these guys in the oven. As you can see, the oven is preheated to 350 because that's what the recipe called for. Now we just need to put some of the egg wash on top of each of these cinnamon buns. I'm not totally sure why they do this. I can't remember. I definitely used to know, but yeah, we just gotta put this on top of them to complete them before we throw them in the oven. Okay, so now we're just gonna pop these bad boys in the oven. And set the timer for 25 minutes. And now, while they are baking, we are going to be making the icing that will be going on top of them once they get out of the oven. Okay, so for the glaze, what we are doing is we are doing 3/4 of a cup of icing sugar. So let's get that. Okay, 3/4 of a cup. And then we are going to do 1/4 of a cup of heavy cream. So we got whipping cream. Hopefully it'll work the same. I think it will, because it's just cream with a high milk fat content. So I think this will be okay. Next we need 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. We got this giant bottle from Walmart. Fairly cheap because I am constantly making cookies and stuff, so gotta have that vanilla extract available. And then we're gonna add just a pinch of salt. Now, I don't really know what that means, so we're just gonna kind of put a little pinch of salt. Yeah, so now we just have to whisk it all together to make the glaze for our cinnamon buns. Alright guys, so it has been the 25 minutes and we actually gave them another 5 minutes because they didn't seem quite finished, but I'm very excited. Look at how big they turned out. Oh jeez. Oh, they smell so good. Goodness gracious. Wow. I'm gonna say this was not a flop. This turned out way better than I expected. They look very puffy. I'm very excited to try them. Now we do have to wait for them, oh no, there's no butter in this. So now we can put the icing sugar on them, and then I guess they're ready to eat. But we should probably let them cool down a bit so they don't totally burn our mouths. But oh, look at that. these guys, you have no idea. They look amazing and smell so good. Okay, so there is the icing. Oh my goodness. I really want to try it. Okay, it's a bit warm. We're gonna taste it. Get a nice piece with the icing on it. Okay, taste test. Here we go. I wish you guys could taste this. Oh my gosh. Can I just say, I've never made cinnamon buns before. I've never attempted to make cinnamon buns before. I've never even made like the Pillsbury ones, but oh my gosh. This is good. If anything, I would use more icing just because I love icing on cakes, on pastries, on anything really. But overall, very tasty. Very tasty. Okay, so that was my attempt at making cinnamon rolls, and it turned out pretty successful. I'll leave the link down in the description of the recipe that I used, just in case you guys want to try it out too. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you're all still staying safe. I hope you'll tune in next time with whatever I end up deciding to do. I know it's kind of funny jumping from like this fitness thing last week to making these cinnamon buns this week. Very different things, but you know, it's just kind of what I feel like doing, what I feel like going day by day, and yeah, it's fun. Overall though, I hope you guys have a great day, evening, night, whatever it is, and I'll see you in the next video.